Tonight on News 5 Live, surveillance footage of Cassman Gill murder going to the FBI. Rugby team to represent Belize in their first international competition. And is the vaccine mandate for restaurants actually causing tourists to cancel trips to Belize? Details of these stories and more coming up in tonight's newscast.
Stay safe and submit your sickness benefit claim form electronically. Follow these 4 steps. Step 1. Obtain your medical certificate. At consultation, the doctor certifies your days of illness and provides you with a medical certificate. Step 2. Fill out your sickness benefit form. Complete all the fields in parts 1 to 4 on the front page of the sickness benefit form. Step 3. Request your salaries record form. Contact your employer for your salaries record form. Step 4. Submit your sickness benefit claim form. Scan or take a clear picture of the sickness benefit form, salaries record, and proof of bank account. Email the documents to claims@socialsecurity.org.bz within 14 days. You will receive an email reply confirming receipt of your claim. After the submission of all documents, your claim is processed for payment to your account. For any COVID-related illnesses, contact the Ministry of Health for further guidance. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
It's Freaky Friday. Every Friday in October, you can double up from $1 to $39 and triple up with $40 or more. All treats only with Smart.
Have you ever wondered how to tell if someone is marriage material? Do you ever wish there was more to your marriage? Maybe you've asked yourself, how do I raise my kids the way God wants me to? Join us for our new series, Mixtape. We'll play through how God wants us to love the people in our lives one track at a time. Get ready to crank up the volume and tune in for advice God gives us in the areas that matter most.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, October 14th. I am Sabrina Daly. The statutory instrument that requires restaurants to accommodate only vaccinated people who can show their cards has begun to impact hotel restaurants. Restaurants presently can only accommodate 50% of their maximum capacity. But with the cancellations that hotels have started to see, President of the Belize Hotel Association, Alina Saldivar, says their worry is that if the SI remains in effect, they will begin to suffer serious impacts once again. For context, we repeat the Prime Minister's comments on the matter when he appeared on Channel 5's Open Your Eyes on Wednesday, followed by Saldivar's take on what the requirement is doing to tourism. And she says that tourism stakeholders are going to be strict with enforcing mask wearing, hand washing, and social distancing during the upcoming high season.
When you go to the United States and you go to a restaurant, you have to be vaccinated. You have to show you have to show your card, or else you can't go in. Bolsonaro, the president from Brazil, they refused his entrance into a restaurant. Actually, they had a picture of him eating pizza on the street side. So, if the tourists back home in the United States have to be vaccinated to go into a restaurant, why should we make it any different right here?
My answer to that is it should be different here, because here we depend on tourism. The US doesn't depend on tourism as heavily as we do here. We keep saying we have quite a few reservations from November onwards, especially November through March. But then out of the left field, we were completely blown away when the SI came out saying that restaurants could only serve vaccinated customers. We had no idea that was coming. I can't speak for local restaurants. I don't know if it is, I don't know how much it is affecting them, but that affected us right away. I don't think it was well thought out in terms of how that would affect a tourist that wants to come to this country that has chosen not to be vaccinated. We are not requiring vaccination to enter the country, yet we're saying when you get here, it's going to be difficult to find food. It's going to be difficult to eat. It's going to affect us. It is already affecting us. We have one resort in San Pedro that made the announcement to their future guests, and they got 6 cancellations in a matter of 24 hours. They got 6 cancellations. We have these new airlines coming in November and December. Everyone is very excited and hopeful. Unfortunately, some of the cities that those airlines are servicing are cities in the US that have a high anti-vax rate. So we probably will be seeing some guests there that are not vaccinated. And we have a responsibility, the resorts have a responsibility to let them know, because we can't, it's going to be chaotic if we don't say anything in fear of the cancellations and then have them come and then learn about that when they're here. That wouldn't be right. We're really hoping that this is going to be a regulation that will have an expiration date before we get into the thick of the high season.
The daily COVID statistics gives us an indication of how bad the infection and death rates are in Belize. On Wednesday, Acting Director of Health Services for the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Dr. Francis Mori, shared the startling numbers in a more comprehensive form. The information includes cases from the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital, the private healthcare facilities, and all the public health clinics across the country. Here are those numbers as they stacked up to this week.
In regards to the different distribution as of April 1st to October 11th, we have for the past months a cumulative number of 122 deaths, distributed with the greater number being in the Belize district, followed by Orange Walk and the Cayo districts. As to note, these are the areas that have the highest number of population. Also, that may be considered is for the Belize district, the context of the current outbreak scenario, and also it serves as a tertiary referral hospital, being the Carl Huchner, which most of our moderate to severe cases or severe to critically ill cases are sent. In regards to the relationship with the deaths as of April 1st to today, we have that 11 of these individuals have had 9 have had a first dose of their vaccine. We have 18 of them being fully vaccinated, and to which 93 of these individuals of our Belizeans, brothers and sisters, have passed away due to COVID. Hence the realization that we must continue to support the vaccination process as requested and supported by the Ministry of Health. The concern going forward is that many of these, the rates that are being seen in these individuals per 10,000 population is that we maintain for the fully vaccinated a range of 1.2 within our current context. The death rate per 10,000 population is 4.1, hence signaling once again the need to continue the vaccination process across the country, and we need to have the entire population more than vaccinated, surpassing that what we may think is herd immunity, to which we know we had initially started this process by. the associated comorbidities that have been presented in those who are partially vaccinated continue to be the NCDs, which has been not only in this scenario, but the leading causes of death in the entire country of Belize historically. And hence, most of our persons who are affected by NCDs, primarily diabetes, chronic renal failure, high blood pressure, asthma, obesity, cancer, HIV/AIDS, are some of the most significant diseases that are contributing to the high mortality rate that we are seeing in our population. The concern is, why are we seeing our vaccinated population being affected by and passing away by COVID? COVID by itself is a phenomenon. It doesn't spare any person. It produces a severe storm of cytokines. That means it dysregulates your hormonal process. And most of these individuals who have already a compromised immune system, it actually triplicates and produces a debacle of hormones and other mechanisms within our country that cannot be within the body that cannot be regulated by these individuals because of the severity of the disease. The same scenario goes in regards to individuals who are being fully vaccinated, where diabetes by itself, which is is considered a disease that suppresses the autoimmune system or the response. Chronic renal failure being the second cause, high blood pressure, obesity, asthma.
The opposition United Democratic Party has come out swinging against the government for, in their view, not making COVID testing readily accessible to the public, forcing many to have to pay for tests done privately. Prime Minister John Bersenio denied that claim, saying that the Ministry of Health has opened up more testing sites where people can get tested free of cost. He said the testing that is done in the private healthcare service is mainly for traveling and tourism-related purposes. Those test prices can range anywhere from $75 to $150, a lucrative business in the eyes of a lot of people. The PM sees nothing wrong with the prices being charged.
Good for them. I mean, in my business, I try to maximize my profit. What we have to ensure is that they don't take advantage of poor people, and that's what we're doing. That is why we make testing free to our Belizean, to our citizens. Because of that need, we have been opening up more centers. We're decentralizing the testing, and probably, I hope and I expect that in the not too distant future, I probably will be able to go to a pharmacy and get tests, because you don't need to be a doctor or a nurse to be able to get a test.
Coming up, police and customs get some assistance from the U.S. Embassy. Details when we return.
With RF&G Insurance, you can request a quote, renew a policy, purchase a policy, and even file a claim effortlessly with WhatsApp. Here's how. WhatsApp the words "Get Started" to 670-8700. We will prompt you to select the service that you are interested in. Select the service and answer a few simple questions. An RF&G representative will process your request and follow up with you when your transaction is completed. It's that easy. Skip lines and WhatsApp us. Remember, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a road group company.
Have you tried the Atlantic Insurance app yet? If not, you are literally missing out. When you request a renewal on your motor insurance policy through our AIC app, you automatically get an additional 10% off. When you use our app to request a renewal of your property insurance, you get a special discount. For new customers, the savings get even bigger. Request a quotation using our app, and upon acceptance of the business, you qualify for up to 30% on motor insurance. And of course, special discount applies for property insurance. Download and use our AIC mobile app today and save. Atlantic Insurance. insuring you from life's unexpected.
So I'm going to wonder if by chance I could get your number. It's Digit. Nice.
Of course, you have digital, right?
Yeah, of course.
The truth is, your credit lasts way longer with Digi. Like if you top up with like $30, that could last you 90 days. With the other guys, that must save 60. Then with the other guys, you have to use all of your good prime credit before you even touch your bonus credit. But with Digi, you could use your bonus credit before you even touch your prime credit. Like, what are the point to have free credit if you can't use it how you want? So, what are your number?
Just give me one moment.
The truth is, only Digi offers nationwide LTE coverage, fastest mobile data speeds, and the best call quality.
Nestle. Start healthy, stay healthy.
As one of the largest cable and internet providers in Belize, CBC strives to provide our customers with the highest standards of quality, value, and service in all aspects of cable TV and internet. Monitoring our systems closely, our technicians combine creative planning and state-of-the-art technology with years of experience and training to develop and provide the most reliable and advanced cable and internet service to exceed your expectations. For CBC and our team of talented engineers, technicians, and customer service representatives, delivering less than the very best is never an option.
A Camalote resident is spending his first night on remand at the Belize Central Prison after he was busted with over 11.5 pounds of cocaine. Orlando Pascasio was intercepted with the drugs on Wednesday afternoon in Belmopan during a stop and search of his Toyota Sequoia SUV on Trinity Boulevard. Police say they discovered 5 rectangle-shaped parcels wrapped in a transparent plastic in a bag. Pascasio was formally arrested and charged for possession of a controlled drug with the intent to supply to another. He was arraigned in the Belmopan Magistrate Court today and pleaded not guilty. Bail was denied and he was remanded to the Kobe Foundation until December 20th, 2021. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams says that the drugs are believed to be from a wet drop in the south.
We believe that those drugs that were found yesterday may be connected to some wet drop in the southern part of Belize. And there are other persons we're looking at and other things we're doing. I'm not going to go into details now because it may jeopardize what we're trying to achieve. But yes, we did have that bus yesterday of 5.3 kilos of cocaine. And the persons concerned should be taken to court sometime today.
It's been just over a week since 15-year-old Cassman Gill, a promising student at St. John's College, died at the KHMH. He had been hospitalized for gunshot injuries he sustained 52 days earlier. To date, nobody has been charged in connection with his murder, even though there is surveillance footage from the area that captures the moment the gunman took aim at the minor before standing over him and shooting him again in the back. Gill was killed just a block away from where he lived, and his father, Cecil Gill, made an appeal asking Compol Chester Williams to allow the FBI to enhance the footage so that the gunman can be identified and brought to justice. Today, the commissioner responded.
Cassman Gill's father has asked for the FBI to review the surveillance footage for his son and for the footage to be released so that people may identify the killer. Is there any update on that?
I'm not too familiar with the second part, in terms of releasing the footage, I will have to look at it from a legal standpoint to see if it is that we would be in a position to do so. But certainly in terms of the first aspect of your question, we will put together the package of footages, and we'll be asking the FBI to enhance and analyze the footage for us. So that is being worked on.
The Belize Police Department and the Customs and Excise Department have gotten assistance from Central America Regional Security Initiative of the U.S. government in an effort to stem transnational crimes. The handing over ceremony was held at the Police Training Academy in Belmopan, and News 5 and a News 5 team was there.
Over $187,000. That's the value of 6 pickup trucks given to the police and customs departments to assist them in their enforcement mandate. U.S. Chargé d'Affaires Leila Moses-Onish says the goal is to strengthen citizen security in Belize and, by extension, the entire region.
Transnational criminal activity in Central America poses dire implications to public safety, to Belize's very sovereignty, and to its economic prosperity. And no one country can do it alone. And so successfully addressing these challenges requires a joint response with international partners. The agencies present today play very important roles in preventing and responding to reports of illegal activities within and along Belize's borders, and the United States is a very proud partner with Belize in this effort.
The donation, which is part of the U.S. Comprehensive Security Assistance to Belize, will be used by the Mobile Interdiction Team and the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit of the Belize Police Department.
The vehicles that will be received by MIT today, and I must say it's 2, will be used along the northern borders to continue to fight those transnational criminals from plaguing our country. The ATIPS unit is another important part of what we do. As we know that human trafficking is a big thing. And the task that the ATIPS units have is a tremendous one. And I must commend them for the good work that they have done and continue to do. Most recently, I think just about 2 weeks ago, we were able to secure a conviction for a case in Dangriga. And that speaks testimony to the fact that the human trafficking unit is doing what they can to stem this problem. With this vehicle now gifted to the unit, they will be poised to do better. They'll be poised to be able to go out and seek persons who engage in these activities. They'll be able to go and investigate properly, finding evidence against perpetrators, and at the end to ensure that the prosecutors have what it requires to secure a conviction.
Also on hand to receive one of the vehicles was Comptroller of the Customs and Excise Department, Stella Leslie. While we often think of the department as being stationary, Leslie says the vehicle will be used by the enforcement unit in the north.
While we are at the border point and collecting duties and taxes, revenue to enhance our revenue, we also have a mandate to secure the national security mandate. So that is where our enforcement people comes in. You know that the other day on the news they were talking about all the vegetables that are coming in and contrabands coming into the country. Our enforcement officers are tasked to ensure that that doesn't happen. So this vehicle that is given to us is just adding to our fleet for our enforcement section to be able to continue the work that they are doing in ensuring that contraband and all the illicit items that should not come in.
Collectively, the vehicles are expected to protect Belize's land borders from the illegal movement of drugs, weapons, contraband, and people.
Increase the presence of law enforcement not only along the borders, but all of the remote areas of Belize. It will ensure that officers are able to deploy to some of the most remote parts of the country as quickly as possible, while providing additional resources to investigate trafficking in persons cases. And Customs and Excise can now expand their reach over larger portions of the border.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Eamon Courtney, met today with the Secretary of Foreign Affairs of Honduras, Lisandro Rosales Banegas, during his official visit to Belize. They held a bilateral meeting aimed at promoting and strengthening cooperation in areas of agriculture and food security, the fight against illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, tourism, migration, and other issues. The minister also handed over to Secretary Rosales the title for a parcel of land for the construction of the permanent location of the Embassy of Honduras in Belize. This land is located on Embassy Square in Belmopan, near the Embassy of Mexico and British High Commission. Belize and the Republic of Honduras established diplomatic relations on 21 September 1982. After the break, Belizean children benefit from 20 years of the World Pediatric Project. Meet some of the latest cases when we return. But first, here's a look at the latest COVID-19 figures.
When something is good and you can save, that makes it even better. Like this guy, he buys Flex bundles using his promo credit. No worries when his primary credit is finished. He gets talk, text, and data for free. Or her, she calls her family internationally with her promo credit. And with data packages so affordable, she even does video calls. Smart continues to offer great deals and affordable promotions. As a small business owner, she saves when she uses her promo credit to call the other guys. All Smart customers enjoy more triple days and knowing they can use their promo credit, which just lasts longer. Smart, bringing people together.
Hello, welcome to Samsung's awesome experience right here in Belize. Come check it out. Not sure which Samsung Galaxy A series is right for you? Touch, play, and learn about your device before you buy. Once you've purchased your device, you can now benefit from the full Samsung service experience. Your phone is covered by a 1-year local warranty. This includes manufacturer defects and software and hardware issues caused by the manufacturer. Enjoy your phone with peace of mind knowing that your Galaxy is protected. And when your warranty expires, you can still bring it to our certified Samsung Repair Center. Our technicians will diagnose and repair your device with Samsung original parts and machinery. Enjoy the Samsung experience when you shop at any of our authorized partners countrywide, including Cellular World, Digi, Odette's Home Center, Debari, Quartz, Shopligas, Gadgets, and Cellular Plus. Join the Samsung experience in Belize today.
To decrease your risk of being bitten by infected mosquitoes, use proven personal protective methods too. Apply an effective mosquito repellent to exposed areas of skin according to manufacturer's instructions. Wear light-colored long pants and shirts while outdoors in the early morning and late afternoons. Further, protect vulnerable family members like pregnant women, children, the elderly, and persons who are unwell by using mosquito nets to sleep or rest, even during the day. Fight the bite and protect yourself and your family too from mosquito-borne diseases.
We have been a partner with Smart for over 10 plus years. We have a full Smart plan we use as our major driver for our business. We have a service that rolls over in that if you call one and it is busy, it rolls over to the next line. So once you call us, you can get us at any time. Before we got this Smart service, we were paying upwards of nearly $2,000 in phone bills. Since we've had our Smart service, we pay an average of about $600. So we've had tremendous saving, more than 50%. For the businesses, if you want to save money, switch to Smart because it is far more cost effective and the service is excellent.
Smart continues to be innovative in bringing new technology and meaningful savings during these challenging times to businesses across Belize. Sign up for our VoIP technology or broadband packages and save more.
This is Mental Health Week, and in Belize, anxiety and depression are the most prevalent challenges. According to Mental Health Coordinator in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Nurse Yvette Quintanilla, COVID-19 also has a significant impact on people's mental health.
As we go through the pandemic, we see that more people have been coming to the clinics referring that they're suffering from anxiety. We know that the lockdown, the loss of family members, all the changes that we're going through, the closure of schools, the homeschooling, all of this is having an impact on the mental health of our people. And this is being expressed through anxiety and depression. We have mental health clinics in each district. Anybody who experiences any symptoms of anxiety, for example, if you are having excessive worrying thoughts that disrupts your normal functioning, you might experience sweating, restlessness, tenseness, rapid heartbeat. These are symptoms of anxiety. On the other hand, we have depression. If at any point you start to feel sad, you see that somebody becomes withdrawn, loses their interest in activities that they used to do before. There might even be as well changes in appetite, in sleep. You can seek the help at the mental health clinics. We have psychiatric nurse practitioners and we have psychiatrists who can provide the support to you.
Nurse Quintanilla says the services and medication at the public mental health clinics are free of cost. Over the past 20 years, hundreds of children in Belize have received advanced care through the World Pediatric Project. While the nonprofit organization celebrates that milestone, there are still many in need of medical assistance. The program model is built upon long-term engagement and continuity of multi-speciality care and capacity building. Tonight, News 5's Isani Kayatano looks at a recent mission that has seen successful procedures being performed on a handful of children.
5-year-old Orion Smith is attending his first consultation with a specialist at the World Pediatric Project. Like many kids before him, he is here with a parent to seek expert medical advice or treatment from a visiting team of doctors. His condition is called cephalohematoma, an accumulation of blood under the scalp. During birth, the small blood vessels on Orion's head, when he was a fetus, were broken as a result of a minor trauma.
His one calcified, became hardened, and about roughly 6, maybe 7 weeks ago, he did mention to me that he had a headache. So I figured that it was the perfect initiative to take him to do a little more checkup to know what's going on, you know.
Together, Roy Smith and his son traveled from Bermuda and Landing for a session with Dr. Patty Lang, a pediatrician who is on a week-long mission from Richmond, Virginia. She's been in several surgeries since arriving in Belize earlier this week.
We come typically every year around this time to do surgical care for children that can't otherwise get it. This year is obviously a little different with COVID. We weren't able to come last year, and so this year we tried to also do some telehealth visits ahead of time. So it changed around a little bit of how we typically work on things. But we came Saturday and we immediately had a clinic to see some patients that would likely need surgery. We saw a few more patients Sunday, and then we started operating on the children that needed surgery Sunday afternoon.
The World Pediatric Project has been in operation in Belize for the past 2 decades. Over the years, many children have been assisted with various medical procedures through this initiative.
This is actually this team's 9th time coming to Belize. World Pediatric Project has been operating in Belize for the past 18 years. It's actually our 20th anniversary this year. Due to COVID, we had to take a break last year, so we had a lot of kids lined up for surgeries. However, with the strain on the health system right now, we were unable to do it at the KHMH, which is our normal venue. So the Belize Specialist Hospital opened their doors to us for us to do the surgical mission there, and it was free of cost. We ended up doing 15 surgeries there.
Among those who went under the knife was a 3-month-old baby who was born with her intestines and other organs outside of her abdomen. The condition of the newborn was a trending topic on social media recently. A team of doctors tried its best to correct the condition. Admittedly, after 4 hours of surgery, it has been their biggest medical challenge yet.
Well, we took care of a baby that was born with a defect in her abdomen where her intestines kind of formed outside the body. And she's very malnourished, and they had tried several surgeries before trying to get everything back in where it's supposed to be so her intestine can work properly. So we brought some extra equipment, and we worked together with the local pediatric surgeon here to provide that care. We'll still see how she's going to do because she's very young, very small, very sick. But we're trying to give her the best chance that we can. And so that was a little bit of a challenge because we weren't sure that we'd even be able to operate on her, that she would survive any kind of surgery.
As for the doctor's medical opinion on Ryan's condition,
the doctor actually told me from her observation there is another specialist team coming in who will be able to more give diagnosis on what his condition is and what it's gonna permanently be, you know. So the next team that comes in, hopefully I can have him be here. Hopefully we have health and strength. We could come back again and they could do a little bit more in depth to know what his condition is.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
By tradition, patients in need of surgery would have the procedure performed by a specialist who would make a large incision into their bodies. Surgeons would later realize that this created unnecessary trauma and subsequently adopted laparoscopic surgery, commonly called a keyhole surgery, by the turn of the 21st century. Since then, operations have been performed through small incisions using a camera and specialized instruments. That, however, introduces the likelihood for communication challenges or human error, particularly if the surgeon has poor vision. With the development of a surgical robot that is fixed to the operating table and controls the laparoscopic camera, the surgeon now has a better view of the operating field. Dr. Shamir Kowich is a Belizean doctor practicing in Trinidad and Tobago, where he is also professor of liver and pancreas surgery at the University of West Indies. Recently, Dr. Kowich and his medical team performed 4 robotic-assisted surgeries. He explains the difference between the old and new techniques of these procedures.
The original photo I showed you where 2 big hands are inside. You can see my hand here now holding the instrument, and a very tiny instrument, smaller than the diameter of my finger, goes in, and this is how we do the operations. So this is an example of me removing a gallbladder, and you can see me pinching the gallbladder neck here with my thumb and 3rd finger. But nowadays we do it like this with these laparoscopic instruments that do the same thing with much more accuracy, much more finesse, and much better vision. And unlike the late 1900s, where surgeons would have to huddle together and look into an open cut and try to avoid the light so that they can see, we don't do this anymore. We now stand upright as a surgeon, and you can see all of us are looking towards a screen. But look at this. This is Dr. Mohanty here assisting me. He's holding the camera, I'm holding the instruments. And this is how we perform operations, by looking at a screen to get visual feedback and perform these operations.
Dr. Kowich explains that with the advent of COVID-19 last year, it forced many in the medical professional to rethink their approach to performing surgeries.
When the pandemic hit, and I have this here in March of 2020 because that's when the first case in Trinidad and Tobago, where I am, was recorded, but it's going to be something similar for Belize. When the pandemic hit, things changed significantly. Surgical practice was turned upside down. What we found out was that there were a lot of work from home orders. So a lot of the people who supported surgery, like the blood bank and the lab technicians, were not available. And so a lot of our lists were canceled. There were concerns about people huddling together in the operating room. So obviously that would mean more transmission of the COVID virus. We had a lot of the doctors reassigned, and this is understandable because when we perform surgery, this is not a very relevant thing in response to the pandemic. It doesn't help the pandemic very much. And so when doctors were reassigned to COVID teams, we suddenly found ourselves as surgeons in a position where we were all alone with no help to do operations. And so when we realized that this COVID pandemic was with us to stay for months and even more than a year, we realized that things had to change.
Just ahead, a Belizean team heads to Turks and Caicos for competition. But first, here's a weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Electricity is an essential part of our daily lives. We use lights and household appliances every day. Therefore, we must ensure our homes are wired properly. At Benny's, we have certified wires with the right gauges and insulation. BEL certified meter sockets, authentic GE and Square D panel boxes and breakers, which protect the wires inside your home from being overloaded. When wiring your home, avoid imitation brands which can be very dangerous. Give yourself and your family peace of mind using genuine electrical products available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Why should we get a COVID-19 vaccine? First, to protect our health. Vaccines are safe and effective at preventing severe disease and death from COVID-19. Also, the impact of vaccines on the transmission of the virus is being studied. Meanwhile, we already have powerful reasons to get vaccinated for our own good and for the good of others. Second, we should get vaccinated for our community's health. Our health systems are overwhelmed treating COVID-19 cases. By getting vaccinated, fewer of us will need medical care or hospitalizations from this disease. This promotes the health of our communities by allowing other healthcare issues that are being postponed to be addressed, such as care for chronic diseases. Third, we should get vaccinated for our community's well-being. COVID-19 has also caused poverty and unemployment and has generated an economic and social crisis. Vaccines will allow us to reactivate our economies gradually and to go back to the social interactions that we miss so much. The more people are vaccinated, the sooner we will be able to safely carry out the activities we had to drastically limit and that are key to the well-being of our communities. Some achievements will only be possible if we all cooperate. Health emergencies test our ability to help one another and act for the health and well-being of our communities. We all have the moral duty to get vaccinated against COVID-19 as soon as it is available to us and to follow public health measures to end the pandemic soon. The fight against COVID-19 depends on everyone.
Imagine going through your entire day without the burden and risk of carrying cash on you. Belize's shift to digital wallets has begun with eCash. We can now skip the cash when collecting money or paying for our essentials, all while using a fast, easy, and secure platform. Simply add funds to your wallet via bank transfer or at an agent, and you're good to go. You will be able to make quick, easy payments simply by scanning QR codes. And best of all, it all happens just like that. Payments are as easy as clicking a link online or scanning a QR code. Download the eCash app from the Google Play and Apple App Store today and take your first step into a cashless lifestyle. The future is here with eCash. For more information, visit www.e-cash.com or contact us via WhatsApp at 613-0257 to find out more.
Es un hecho. Únicamente con Smart obtienes todo realmente ilimitado. Solo con Smart obtienes datos ilimitados en cualquier momento. Mientras que con el otro proveedor solo son datos dobles los fines de semana. Con datos ilimitados todos los días no hay necesidad de esperar, así que es un hecho que nuestros planes ilimitados superan a la competencia. Por lo tanto, no permita que le digan cómo y cuándo usar sus datos y obtenga llamadas, mensajes de texto y datos ilimitados. Vive la verdadera experiencia de planes ilimitados con Smart. Es un hecho. Haga el cambio y viva Smart.
The Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association's BSCFA Committee of Management has written to the Prime Minister requesting a meeting on the status of their commercial agreement with the Belize Sugar Industries Ltd. The association says its members are becoming increasingly frustrated by, quote, BSI's attitude to our requests for the negotiation of a new commercial agreement. The association says it views BSI's preconditions for any engagement as a delaying and intimidation tactic. BSCFA is one of 4 sugarcane farmers associations that deliver sugar to BSI. While 3 of the associations have already signed on to a 5-year commercial agreement, BSCFA says it would like to negotiate first. One request from the association for negotiation is the recalculation of payments made to small farmers from the gross proceeds. Currently, farmers receive 65% of the revenue, while the sugar mill receives the remaining 35%. The association is also asking for payments to be made to them on bagasse, which is the waste of the sugarcane typically used to make electricity. BSCFA delivers 50% of the sugarcane proceeds by the mill. This is a critical period since the sugar season is scheduled to begin in late December. The leader of the opposition, Patrick Faber, has given an update on the consultations concerning the justices of Supreme Court. Faber says he received the letter from the Cabinet Secretary on the matter on October 4th, and on the 5th he met with his shadow cabinet to discuss the proposed appointments. The concern raised was that all 4 judges are foreign, and the appointments are for 1 year only. He says on that same day, he contacted the Cabinet Secretary to request further consultations with the Prime Minister. The opposition leader notes he received a response a week later on October 12 by way of 2 telephone calls with the Prime Minister. The LOO says further discussions were held with the shadow cabinet today, which quotes, reference the proposed appointments given by way of the letter to the Prime Minister. He did not speak to whether or not this opposition will endorse the appointments. The proposed Supreme Court justices are Ricardo Sancroft, Susan Lam, Patricia Farnese, and Genevieve Chabot. On Monday, the Prime Minister, John Bersenio, appeared on Open Your Eyes and said the appointments would be for 1 year only and would be to assist with clearly the backlog of cases. Speaker of the House, Valerie Woods, has been appointed the new regional chairperson for Commonwealth Women Parliamentarians in the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. The post is rotated every 3 years, and Woods was selected for the Caribbean, Americas, and Atlantic region. The CWP works on a regional basis with the 9 regions coordinating programs, conferences, and meetings among parliamentarians. The objective of the CWP is to build the capacity of female parliamentarians to be more effective in their roles and to help parliaments to become gender sensitive. During a virtual roundtable on October 5th, Woods said, "As a region, we must strive to promote gender-sensitive parliaments in the 21st century and adopt gender-sensitive practices and policies." In Belize, women parliamentarians account for 12.9% of the elected members in the House of Representatives and 30% appointed women in the Senate. 5 scholarships have been awarded to students in secondary and tertiary level institutions by the Belize Hotel Association. The 5 recipients are Blight Thompson from St. Catherine Academy, Roani Guerra from Sacred Heart College, Kiani Kal from Independence High School, Celine Almendarez from Independence Junior College, and Kiara Williams from the University of Belize. President of the Belize Hotel Association, Alina Saldivar, told News 5 that the funds are raised through unique ways.
The children that receive the scholarships are children of employees of the properties that are members of the Belize Hotel Association. We have 5 students that we've chosen to be the recipients of the scholarships, and we have to give credit to our members because they are the ones that are very generous with us and give us packages that we then auction off to raise funds for the scholarship fund. So this is something that we do annually. It basically covers the tuition for the child. A lot of children are still needing to pay tuition even though they're doing online schooling. That tuition payment is still due. So it covers their tuition.
Applications for the scholarships open in March of each year and close on May 31st. They must be dependents of an employee of a member hotel business and must be under the age of 24 and be enrolled in an academic program up to tertiary level at the time of their application. Land activist Nigel Petillo has taken to Facebook Live to vent his frustration over what he says is the refusal of the Minister of Natural Resources, Cordell Hyde, works with him now that he is in office. In 2020, Petillo launched a land acquisition movement to try and improve access to land for grassroots people. On one occasion, Petillo organized an initiative in Cotton Tree Village that garnered national attention. At the time, he was also experiencing pushback from authorities, and there were times he went into hiding or was detained. This was all under the previous administration, when Hyde was in opposition. When Hyde went public with his support for the movement in July of 2020, Petillo says he was under the impression that if Hyde and the PUP were to form the next government, the movement would gain ground. Well, Hyde and the PUP are now the government of the day. But Petillo claims the politician who once said he would keep him close and put him to work is no longer answering his calls and messages. We spoke to Petillo via Zoom this morning.
Not just about Cordell, it's a whole system. It's a whole system that's in place that has been failing Belizeans in a whole. We only know about 2 major political parties in this country, and that are UDP and PUP. And it has been back and forth between UDP and PUP people. So we could almost rightly say that the problems of this country is because of the mismanagement between both governments. I am a Rastaman, and as a Rastaman, many times you will find that Rastaman trying to mingle up with government and politics and stuff because of the way the politicians then behave. The over and over politicians been promising us land Of many other things, land are the number one promise in promise because they know how much we want land long time and they know money we can't afford to buy land. So they make the promise over and over. Imagine the possibilities. Welcome to the party. The best are lines and we buy into the lines. Well, I bought into Cordell lines.
The criticism is that you laid in bed with a politician and you should have known better because politicians do what politicians do to win elections.
Yeah. People could, I don't vex with nobody if say that like that how they feel. I will accept that, I'll take that because genuinely I believe that he cared. And Cordell sounded like me when I heard a man talk. He says a lot of the phrases why I said. He said a lot of the things why I want here, what we want here, what we need to hear and see happen. And I back that line and I move with that line.
What is it that you want Belizeans to learn or understand from your experience?
Belizeans been sleeping and we've been depending on the politicians to change our life. We've been hoping that they will come and give it job, give it scholarship, give it land and change Belize. And we've been seeing back and forth government after government that is not the case.
The Belize national rugby team left for the Turks and Caicos Islands today. They will be competing for the first time in an international tournament. It's a historic step for sports in Belize. Team Belize will be in Group C of the Fireman's Rugby America's North Sevens 2021 being played on Saturday and Sunday. Belize will play against Guyana and Bermuda. The top two teams will advance to the 2022 World Rugby Sevens Challenger Series. We met the team outside the Philip Golson International Airport this morning before their departure.
I'm excited, but I'm also nervous. I mean, this is the very first time we've taken a rugby team to a World Rugby tournament like this. And to be honest, it's been a bit of a nightmare trying to get it organized because COVID has just about hit everything. Flights, medical, everything has been hit by this COVID thing. So it's been a bit of a panic, bit of a nightmare, but I'm finally here. The team is here and we're roaring to go. We are the newbies. So everybody's going to be looking at us, right? This is the first time we've done this. Every other country has been there several years and, you know, some of them have, I wouldn't say they're old at it, but they've been very well experienced. So, and they have no idea what we can do. Right? They've never seen us play before. So we're the newbies. They're going to be all eyes on us. Everybody's going to want to know what is it Belize is going to do, what tricks have they got. And I reckon we're going to surprise a few people. I do.
I know it's going to be an adrenaline rush, but to me, what I'm most looking forward to is to see how well our team is going to play as a team, the chemistry level, the synchronization out there. It is a high intensity game, and believe me, when you're on that field, it's the adrenaline that's going to be pretty much taking off that tiredness, but it's also, as a player, the willpower and determination to keep on going and to see your brothers on that field. If they're on the backside slipping, I think that gives you more of a motivation. Or if you're thinking about family, that's the boost that you will get. Even though you're tired to your core, that you just want to collapse, maybe you might see that on the field too, because honestly, the first minute or two, you'll see us already gasping for breath because that's how intense and quick the game is.
Coming up, nights out, hugging your friends, trips to Chateau Mall. What are you missing under COVID-19? Find out what some viewers are saying and if they share your own sentiments. Up next on the COVID Chronicles.
No more stress. No more long lines. No more confusion. No more long, complicated forms. That's because the Belize Tax Services Department is going digital. The launch of Iris Belize will bring ease and efficiency to our tax management. Iris Belize has a user-friendly online portal that allows you to file your returns and make payments online, view your full account history, access customer service, track your refunds, and much more. Iris Belize, Integrated Revenue Information System, coming soon.
What is the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine? The Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine is an RNA vaccine that triggers our immune system to develop antibodies against the SARS-CoV-2 virus that causes COVID-19. It helps to reduce hospitalization, severity of the disease, and death. What is the Pfizer vaccine made of, and is it safe? The Pfizer vaccine is made up of mRNA messenger ribonucleic acid, which are molecules that carry the genetic information needed to make proteins, lipid, salts, and sugar. It is safe for persons 12 years and older and does not contain the COVID-19 virus, hence cannot cause infection. Tests have shown that the vaccine is effective against current virus variants. Who should take the Pfizer vaccine? The Pfizer vaccine should be taken by persons 12 years of age and older who do not have severe allergic reaction after a previous dose of vaccine or have not had severe allergic reaction to any ingredient of this vaccine. 2 doses of the vaccine are required 3 weeks apart. If you are between the ages of 12 and 17 years, you are required to present a signed consent form before you are vaccinated. What are the side effects of the Pfizer vaccine? Some common side effects of the Pfizer vaccine are headache, fatigue, muscle pain, fever, chills, and swelling at the injection site. If side effects persist, contact your doctor as soon as possible. Does the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine prevent infection and transmission? No, vaccination alone does not prevent infection and transmission. We are still required to continue to wear masks properly, physically distance, wash and sanitize hands often, practice proper coughing and sneezing hygiene, and avoid crowds.
Bringing people together has always been SMART's mission and passion. That is why we are proud to have built a locally independent quality network from the ground up that spans the country with over 100 sites. We continue to add more affordable mobile data packages, broadband speeds, and voice services to meet your personal and business needs. SMART has set the standard of true competition with the most competitive prices on all services offered. We invite and welcome you to join the SMART family, where the value for your dollar matters. SMART will continue bringing new technologies, more affordable prices, network expansions, and people together. SMART, bringing people together.
Is always with you, from live TV, sports, and on-demand titles. Choose your plan today. Plans start as low as $15 per month. My TV, entertainment, anytime, anywhere.
Here at News 5, we are so happy to have one of our reporters back with us. Marian Ali, who was hospitalized with COVID-19, will be doing next week's COVID Chronicles. She will share with you her experiences battling the disease and the challenges still facing her as she recovers. But this week, News 5's Paul Lopez decided to survey some of you, our viewers, both in person and on Facebook, to find out what you are missing most under COVID-19 restrictions. Some of the responses showed deep reflection, while others are proof of just how good Belizeans are at taking bad things make laugh.
We've been in a pandemic for the better part of the last 2 years, which has meant for us restrictions upon restrictions. But believe it or not, there are actually days when we didn't have COVID and we didn't have restrictions. We're out here in downtown Belize City today to find out just what it is people are saying they miss the most about those days.
Me miss me 19th. Me miss me La Ruta Maya. Me miss me 21st. Me miss everything, all the activities me miss.
What I miss the most is the September celebrations. For me, coming from a creative art background, I love dancing and everything about it. So I am one of those persons that participate in Carnival every year. I am that type of person that participates in the pageants, in the in the opening, everything you name it, and I'm there. So I miss that the most.
Well, I only miss my friends when we school, when we go out, only that. Going out, have fun, hang with your friends, in the Saturday, hug, miss all of that.
One of the things with being a reporter, it's about engaging with people from different walks of life. And due to the pandemic and being so conscious of the public health concerns, you can't. And so I think that it has caused us somewhat to disconnect with people who we go out to get their stories. So we're not able to share it the way we used to. And I think that's what I miss the most.
What are the one thing where you miss the most about them times before we had COVID?
Well, I miss the babes go heal me, I think, I think.
The outdoor clubbing. School.
Clubbing?
School.
What I miss? I can't say what I miss.
That family time. Something simple as giving your family member a hug now is something you have to consider. Going over to your sister's house or your mom or dad, it's something you have to think twice about now.
So just having, like a one-on-one connection with people, especially my church family. I kind of miss going to church and having that relationship, like face-to-face with them. We miss Chatamal.
You birds are the one thing you miss the most?
Just sports, brother, because a lot of the youths that are dead out daily, day by day, right? Just sports, just silly activities there for the youth, keep the youth stay active.
One thing I miss before COVID start, I miss my good clients, I miss my family time, I miss going to my wife's house and my wife coming to my house, I miss hanging out with my daughter, and I want to big up all my customers who believe in me.
Spending time with family. One thing I miss the most, get on the GN bus and go down south, that's to the river, and spend a full day with my sons, my sisters, my rest of family, because all the media for my family, everybody else that's at the river.
Anya, you know what the COVID-19? What the COVID-19, love?
What virus?
How you feel about the coronavirus?
I feel sad because I can't go to school with my friends.
I miss the freedom of having to breathe without this restriction. That's one. I miss the option of having the borders open so we can go and experience our neighbors.
Here are some of the responses we received on Facebook. We also asked people, what is the first thing you will do when COVID-19 is contained and restrictions are lifted?
Who don't like it drop?
What are the first thing you want to do when COVID finally disappears?
Well, go past sweet PN and then go to my family.
What that sweet PN? What part sweet PN, mommy?
PN ban.
What part is it?
The dangriga.
Oh, so you want to go broke down?
I go put it back.
First thing I do is hopefully the borders open everything. Go cross it to Somalia, go spend a whole week.
Well, come back to reality, go to church and enjoy yourself.
Well, seek the Lord and have Him more in my life because only He can get me through these rough times.
The first thing I do, I thank God. That's number one. After that, well, just do whatsoever what you have to do. Just keep yourself safe.
You sis?
Plan a trip to Chatamal.
Well, I just link up there, you know.
Carry out my best friend.
What's that?
Take out my best friend because of over.
Several persons encouraged getting vaccinated as a means towards getting back to the freedoms we once enjoyed.
I feel like we have to do what we have to do, whether it's getting vaccinated, whether it's adhering to the social distancing guidelines. Do something.
So please just follow the regulations and go get your vaccination.
I don't take my COVID vaccine.
Don't take your COVID vaccine.
Yeah, Johnson.
You take it. Why you choose the Johnson?
I choose the Johnson because I'm a businessman. One shot.
One shot.
One shot and done because I'm an entrepreneur.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
So, what are you missing most during COVID or looking forward to doing once more? Go to Channel 5's Facebook page and share your answers. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.